Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract opportunities, success, wealth, and good fortune almost effortlessly? In astrology, one planet is strongly connected with these themes. Its name is Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. And in astrology, the great symbol of expansion, abundance, wisdom, opportunity, and luck. But Jupiter is much more than simply a lucky planet. So, what does Jupiter actually mean in your natal chart? Let's explore. Jupiter is traditionally known as the Great Benefic in Astrology.it, represents the principle of expansion. Where Jupiter is placed in your natal chart can show an area of life where you may seek growth, experience opportunities, develop confidence, and broaden your horizons. Jupiter is associated with luck, growth, abundance, knowledge, higher education, travel, philosophy, faith, generosity, and opportunity. But here's an important point: Jupiter doesn't simply promise wealth. Instead, astrologers traditionally interpret Jupiter as showing where a person may have opportunities to expand and how they approach those opportunities. Now let's talk about something everyone wants to know. Does Jupiter mean money? In astrology, Jupiter can be associated with abundance and prosperity, but its financial meaning depends heavily on the sign, house, aspects, and condition of Jupiter in the natal chart. For example, Jupiter connected with the second house may emphasize themes involving personal resources, income, possessions, and values. Jupiter connected with the eighth house can emphasize shared resources, investments, inheritances, taxes, or financial partnerships. And Jupiter connected with the 10th house may expand themes involving career, reputation, achievement, and professional opportunities. So when analyzing wealth in astrology, we shouldn't look at Jupiter alone. We examine the entire natal chart. Here's where Jupiter becomes especially interesting. The house containing Jupiter tells us the life area where its energy of expansion is traditionally expressed. Jupiter in the first house, growth through identity, confidence, personality, and self-development. This placement can be associated with optimism and a strong desire to grow as an individual. Jupiter in the second house, expansion around money, possessions, resources, and personal values. This is one placement astrologers may examine when discussing financial potential, but spending habits and the rest of the chart matter too. Jupiter in the third house, growth through communication, learning, writing, networking, siblings, and local experiences. Jupiter in the fourth house, expansion through home, family, roots, property, and emotional foundations. Jupiter in the fifth house, growth through creativity, romance, entertainment, children, hobbies, and self-expression. Jupiter in the sixth house, expansion through work, daily routines, service, skills, and personal development. Jupiter in the seventh house, growth through partnerships, relationships, marriage, clients, and cooperation with others. Jupiter in the eighth house, expansion through shared resources, transformation, intimacy, investments, and deeper psychological experiences. Jupiter in the ninth house, this is traditionally considered a particularly strong environment for Jupiter. The ninth house is associated with higher education, philosophy, spirituality, travel, publishing, and the search for meaning. Jupiter here can symbolize a powerful desire to explore the world and expand one's understanding. Jupiter in the 10th house, growth through career, leadership, public reputation, achievement, and professional opportunities. This placement can be especially interesting when analyzing someone's ambitions and career path. Jupiter in the 11th house, expansion through friendships, communities, networks, organizations, long-term goals, and social connections. Opportunities may come through other people and larger networks. Jupiter in the 12th house, growth through solitude, spirituality, compassion, imagination, healing, and the unseen side of life. This placement can suggest that Jupiter's influence operates in a more private or internal way. Jupiter also has a zodiac sign. The sign tells us how Jupiter expresses itself. For example, Jupiter in Sagittarius is traditionally considered very strong because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. This can emphasize exploration, philosophy, education, freedom, optimism, and adventure. Jupiter in Pisces is also traditionally considered strong because Pisces is another sign ruled by Jupiter. Here, Jupiter may express itself through compassion, imagination, spirituality, intuition, and emotional sensitivity, but every Jupiter placement tells a different story. There's one more important piece of the puzzle. Aspects. An aspect occurs when Jupiter forms a significant angular relationship with another planet. For example, Jupiter conjunct Venus may traditionally emphasize pleasure, generosity, relationships, beauty, and abundance. Jupiter conjunct the Sun can emphasize confidence, growth, visibility, and optimism. Jupiter conjunct Saturn can combine expansion with discipline, potentially creating a theme of controlled or structured growth, and Jupiter conjunct Pluto is often interpreted as an intense combination of expansion, power, transformation, ambition, and resources. But remember, an aspect is never automatically good or bad. Its interpretation depends on the entire chart. So, is Jupiter actually the planet of luck? From an astrological perspective, Jupiter is traditionally associated with good fortune, opportunity, protection, generosity, and expansion. But astrology is a symbolic belief system, not a scientifically established method for predicting financial success or future events. So rather than saying Jupiter guarantees wealth, it's more accurate to say Jupiter symbolizes areas where astrologers look for growth, opportunity, abundance, and greater possibilities. Jupiter teaches us an important lesson. Growth requires expansion, but expansion requires wisdom. Jupiter can represent opportunity, but opportunity still needs action. It can represent abundance, but abundance still requires responsibility, and it can represent luck, but recognizing an opportunity is often just as important as receiving one. So when you look at your natal chart, don't ask only, where is my luck? Ask, where am I being encouraged to grow? Because that may be where your Jupiter story truly begins. If you enjoyed this astrology journey, like, subscribe, and follow for more videos about natal charts, planets, wealth indicators, powerful planetary combinations, and the mysteries of astrology. And remember, Jupiter doesn't just ask how much you can receive, it asks how much you are willing to grow. See you in the next video.